Welcome to the Trailer Park Podcast, episode 6, I think. And the first episode where I don't have any kind of guest. That's because this is the first episode, I think, like 4 months, 5 months, due to a number of things that I'll just talk about at some point. But I just got to get back into the swing of things. I definitely plan to have guests on more, but I do want to do solo episodes just to get better at talking at the camera because it just took me a solid like 2 minutes just to get into this. So I got some things I'm just going to blabber on about. But if you want to listen when I have guests on or more blabbering, just make sure to follow on whatever platform you're listening on. Follow me on Twitter to see when they go live or on the whatever platform you have, it might tell you. So but yeah, haven't made anything in a few months. Been doing a lot of just random shit. I tried to start far too ambitious of a YouTube video, and that really made me spiral content wise. And then I just kind of fell out of stuff for a bit because of school and everything. Well, school, along with work, along with responsibility, the whole conundrum of life. But with a balance in place and wanting for sure to do this like more consistently, I'm like making my schedule work where I can do this sort of thing and like being less indecisive about getting stuff done. And it's a difficult thing for some people. Some people can just effortlessly just work on shit and like schedule their lives to be able to do what they want. And I feel like I am the exact opposite, where it is hard for me to get into the groove of doing things properly, where I'm not immediately like feeling as if I am putting off something else that is also important. Even though in reality, even the way I'm doing this right now is not the best setup, I still need to structure my time better. But I've gotten like the biggest thing is when it comes to the sort of content I'm making and exploring to make is back in September when I was doing a lot of streaming. I really got into Pokemon hardcore nuzlocking. I had a lot of fun doing Pokemon Fire Red, which I'm making a video about and should be done this week. I finished like cutting everything up. I just have to record. I have to do the voiceover, and then like the final edit bits, and then that should be done. So that'll be like hopefully I get back on the. It'll probably be like a podcast episode a week, and like some kind of YouTube video a week. The Pokemon video is definitely a more lengthy video compared to, or a more heavily edit video. Like it just takes more time to edit for me because it's also the first video this kind I've ever made. And I also switched over to using Premiere Pro from Sony Vegas. Um, Fun thing, Sony Vegas I feel like is very intuitive when it comes to being like a new user. It's like if you're new to video editing, Sony Vegas is so nice. But then if you go into Premiere Pro, even if you know video editing, it can be a fucking terrible learning curve. I had a horrible time with learning Premiere Pro. Not even a horrible time. It was just it didn't feel intuitive. It didn't feel like obvious how stuff was supposed to work. But once I knew how things worked, the flow kind of came together more. And also I can already tell by having the Adobe suite, I can put out probably higher quality things because like even Photoshop for like making thumbnails and like editing certain things, like I can tell I can do better. Like I was using GIMP for everything, and while GIMP is like super nice, and it's like you don't ever have to use Photoshop, but Photoshop makes certain things easier. And then with Premiere Pro, you have like After Effects. If you do any kind of, that's like the one weird thing for me. I was very used to in Sony Vegas doing a lot of the effects and the editing and that kind of stuff in Sony Vegas, where Premiere Pro, you don't really do any of the effects in Premiere Pro. There's a lot of automatic or like pre-made things you can do in Premiere Pro, but there's if you do any kind of true video edits, you're going to do it in After Effects, which is another learning curve in itself, because like some of it is similar to how Vegas it's just Vegas. I was saying Sony Vegas, but like now it's just called like Vegas, which is annoying. But yeah, that was kind of just a side tangent, because like learning a new editing software can be a pretty big learning curve, even though I am going from like the second most popular to the most popular. And yeah, I got really into Pokemon, just Pokemon content in general, I'd say. But when it comes to me playing, like I've been watching a lot of Pokemon content and like that kind of thing. But when it comes to playing the games, I've been really into the vein of like hardcore nuzlocking. The problem is I finished the Fire Red one and I immediately tried to, because I felt it was kind of easy and I just kind of flew up by the seam of my pants. Like I just went super lax with it, like so lazy through that game. And I was just like, I want something that's challenging. And so I picked a ROM hack called um, Storm Silver, which is an amazing ROM hack made by Drayano. And it beat my ass the first few times. Like I think I got past the first gym leader after like the second or third attempt, but like it was like it took to get past like the third gym leader, I think took me a good few tries, and then like fourth gym leader was like especially bad like amount of attempts, like losing multiple times. And it's been a big, and then I made it even harder by I'm now playing like a certain version of the game where you don't get effort values, which essentially makes it so that when you kill Pokemon, you get these things called effort values or EVs. And after you get a certain amount of EVs of, either attack, speed, defense, special attack, special defense, that sort of thing, that stat increases by 1 if you get enough of them. And I am playing a version that removes EVs. You're supposed to play that if you want more of a challenge. I'm playing it because I was EV training to the point of like insanity, so I wanted to just take the resource away from me. And it does some like useful stuff, like it makes it so like friendship evolutions and stuff are just much faster, because friendship evolutions in the game, it's like you can do it safely. It just takes forever. You can literally just ride around on a bike and friendship evolve a Pokemon. So it's like it's not a skill based thing. And I'm on like attempt 17, 18, 19 or something, and I use rare candies because for one thing I don't get EVs from Pokemon, and I'm streaming the attempts, so I don't feel like grinding out Pokemon battles, because it's just not like worth the time, because I would just do it safely and just not fight high level things, especially because I'd want to max out the amount of EVs I'm getting. But that's a tangent in itself. But I've been having a lot of fun doing that, because the challenge of hitting a wall is like, I just genuinely am like, okay, I have to get better at the game. And some of it is like encounters. And like what I also like is playing it in this way, and especially one of these ROM hacks, they they buff a lot of the Pokemon. And since you're trying to and you only get a limited, they buff a lot of Pokemon, you only get a limited amount of them, and you don't get to exactly choose your encounters. You can do certain things to help your odds of getting certain ones, but you can't choose them for the most part. And I like that a lot, because I use a lot of Pokemon that I wouldn't normally use, and it forces you to use a lot of Pokemon just to take on certain battles, like to the best of your ability, because you can't, if you use the same team against every gym, you'd get fucking smoked, because every gym leader has 6 Pokemon and they all have competitive move sets. It is pure insanity. Like, until recently, like, I even on the first few gyms I was having problems. But on my last few attempts, like, I've been for the most part able to breeze past at least the beginning portion of the game, because I know it enough where it's like, okay, this is kind of my strategy of how I'm going to go about this sort of thing. And then it's yeah, and then I decided I also wanted to try to do a Monologue, which is where you play, it's just a hardcore Nuzlocke, same rules except for you can only use a singular typing in the game. And I wanted to do one that nobody's done, which makes it so it's very difficult as well. I thought it wasn't going to be as difficult as it is, but I'm now on attempt like 45 of this thing, because in Pokemon Black you get like 4 electric type encounters through the whole game. It's like, well, it's 4 through 6. It's something around there. And I have been having just a terrible time with it. Just not doing well. But well, no, I can't say that. I've figured out strategies of how to do well. And oh, fuck. And I've been doing better for the most part each time. But it's hard. It's so hard. And you can really just kind of get fucked. So it is, beating it is going to be difficult, but I think I can do it. So I'm going to continue to do attempts. But I've been really focusing on, even though I was doing Storm Silver at first. I'm doing Sacred Gold now, because that's what the EV-less patch I have of the game is. But yeah, just playing a lot of Pokemon. Like Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, and I really want to make a video about that. I essentially recorded my entire playthrough of that game, not every second of it, but a lot of it, and like all of the important bits essentially. And just how well crafted that game is. And it has its shortcomings. It's like it has the Nintendo shortcomings. The Nintendo shortcomings of mediocre graphics, the Nintendo shortcomings of a little bit too much hand holding, and some of it is like I completely would not hold against the game. Like, I think the hand holding is there's a, well, okay, it's very odd, because I would say there's almost too much hand holding, but realistically I think the hand holding is just enough for like kids who might be trying to play these games, because I feel like this would be a complex game for kids to play. For adults, it's like it makes sense for the most part, but for kids or like less experienced, like gamers, this game I think is a little bit more complex, and the hand holding is a little bit more necessary, where compared to like some Pokemon games, like the more general Pokemon games, where there is still a lot of hand holding, those games don't need as much hand holding. I think those are a little over hand holding. And then you have, but yeah, Legends Arceus. I didn't get Elden Ring, mostly because I have Dark Souls 1 through 3 and Bloodborne. Still have not finished any of them. Haven't for whatever reason. Well, it's because I'm kind of bad. Bloodborne isn't. I could probably finish Bloodborne before I finish like any of the Dark Souls games, but I think the the plan would be essentially play through all the Dark Souls games, then play Elden Ring, because the amount of like people, all the hype around it does make me want to play it. I've never like had this many people telling me like a game could be like the best game of all time, or like one of their top games of all time, like all at once. And like people that in general I talk to and have different gaming opinions and have different games that they would call their favorite game of all time. When so many different people are like, this is the best game I've ever played, I'm like, okay, I feel like I have to play this game, because such a wide margin of people are are saying, best game ever kind of deal. Um, and then my room is a bit, well, now office is in a bit different shape. I think I mentioned this in my other video, but like I have my office set up now, and I have it more set up because it was over where this thing was where this desk was before, and I have the green screen up. I have a microphone over there for a reason, kind of a meme reason, but I'm gonna get it like configured at some point. And then I have a whole shelf of stuff over here and everything. I'm keeping this as open as I can because my plan is I'm gonna more than likely get like a white. I have a white table. I just bring my white table up here and be able to set up and record YouTube videos. Because I do have a few planned out ones. Ones I kind of need to. There's one that's like I can't actually I can't script it because it's not really a scripted video. It's like a go through it and shit kind of happens video. And then I have a few other ones, and I just want to like. There's a few things I want to learn how to do to make videos. Is like learning like Arduinos and stuff and that kind of thing. Um, Getting more into like I already know how to do programming at least to an extent, but for one thing in my degree, I'm going to be doing a lot more programming soon. And I just want to get a better understanding of it. And I think I can make some better videos if I had a better understanding of it because I'd like to make a certain style of videos. And I think it's like I could pay somebody to do like some of this coding stuff if I really wanted to just get it done and like know it's going to get done properly. But it's like for a video, it's like I could just do the whole process and make it part of a video. And it would be a better payoff me learning it than having like siloing off some of the work and then kind of taking credit for where the end result. It's like you would just see me using that for a video's content. It's like I think in some cases that's fine. It's like when it's more complex things, but it's like for some of the shit I want to do, like some of it involves like I have like a Bluetooth smart bike thing. It's like essentially like a cheap Peloton, like way cheaper than what a Peloton is. And I want to see if I can take the Bluetooth signal from that and do something with it, like the Bluetooth connection, like the data that it shoots out when you connect it to something, or simply like connecting. You can get like those things that can read your bike speed and then connecting that to like an Arduino and using that for like some kind of and using that to like control something. But you know, it's it's so much in the air that it's like not even 100% worth talking about because it's just random shit. I but realistically, I think a lot of the content for the future is going to be. I want to. The thing is, I feel like I need to just start doing some easier hardcore Nuzlockes because, oh, but fuck. Because for one thing, I'm just not going to get videos out if I'm just doing these more difficult ones. I can continue to do these difficult ones, but then just like bang out some playthroughs of like some easier like maybe monotype challenges or if I can think of like specific challenges like I'll do them. And I've also thought about like playing around with like Pokemon modding because I don't think it's too complex. It's not something that I feel like threatened by, I guess. Like I think I could learn the concepts quick enough to do some amount of modding to make videos on it and make certain things. Like because for one thing, I see like so there's the Point Crow and whoever he made it with the map randomizers. And it's like, I know they're working on some of the other generations, but I would like to. It's like they're they're taking their time with it, sort of thing. I kind of want to look into how to do it and like either do it on my own to like make it for some of the other games, or like help them if they're open to having help. Because I would like to see those be made quicker, essentially. Uh, yeah. And then let's I'll talk about some other shit too. Like finally got back into I've been so out of like lifting. It's not even funny. I'm hoping I can like get back into the fitness mindset a little bit, make more content about it because I do like talking about it, and it's something that I feel like there's a lot of people talking about it on YouTube, but there's a lot of people who come from a certain mindset that talk about fitness stuff, and like I think some have just a generally bad position when they're talking about this stuff, or they there's just a lot of like weird toxic stances, I think, in fitness, and I think I at least offer something a little bit more. And like I think covering just some of the stupid shit you see and like pointing out how to at least me it's very obviously fake, but it might help someone else not who's not as like knowledgeable about fitness things, or is just like might be susceptible to a random ad or something, just knows that this stuff is bullshit. It's like making stuff like semi funny, semi educational, and well, mostly just like it's like just commentary stuff. I need to get better at being funny. I just need to be better at like actually, because I make these commentary videos and I feel like all of my points are like decent at least. And then, but I mean, you don't have to make jokes in commentary videos, but you kind of have to if you want like any sort. It's like you have to show off your personality, and then even in video form, my social anxiety is a little bubbling to the surface kind of thing. Well, not bubbling to the surface, it's there on the surface. I have to like let the other shit bubble to the surface, I guess. I don't know. But oh yeah, just I just want to make more content, and I have some ideas that I think are good and like are either plays on. I want to like I want to make good like long form content. I want to make some content that is loosely related to other content, but like new forms of it, so it's like it's in the same vein, but it's like completely it's the same base concept but applied to something completely different kind of thing, which is like the one video I have a video that is kind of I just have to get some more materials around for it and then I can do it. And it's like I also have to like rig up the setup for it because I want to make it like a little bit more of a complex like editing so it looks better, like multiple camera angles, that kind of thing. And yeah, and I don't think this is going to be a necessarily long episode because I don't have like enough projects going on at the moment where I can talk on them. And for the most part, I don't expect a lot of people to watch this because it's a very early episode. No, it's just like I have 66 subscribers on YouTube. It's like, once that number gets above 100, I'll feel like okay, people might actually like be genuinely checking into these things. I mean, I think there's some people who are genuinely checking into these things, listening to them. Like maybe it's I have that, but I always have that nagging thing in my head. I'm like, no one gives a shit what. And when you're making stuff, you have to just tune that out because it doesn't matter if someone's watching your videos or whatever you do. It's like I am making this stuff because I want to make content, and to make better content, I have to make content at all. So it's like, would more people seeing and like enjoying my content or giving me criticism on my content um, be better? Yeah, because then more views would mean at some point I could, monetize this and be able to then put money back into it to make better content. And then more people like critiquing, criticizing, and all this kind of thing would mean I can then take that criticism and make better content. And that's something I've said since day one is like, I'm not going to, some people are like, why, like, why would you go onto someone's video and just kind of shit on it? Whereas like, not shit on it, but like, why? It's like, it's just a YouTube video. Why would you go to someone's comments to just openly critique them or something? It's like, I get that to an extent, but I also want people to like mention things that I can do better. It's like, maybe don't be a dick about how you're critiquing me, but you can critique me, especially if I do something like bad or wrong or like, I don't think I'm ever coming from a place of like toxic or being like, I'm never trying to, like, I try to make videos either to entertain people, to point something out that I think is toxic or negative or should be, more people should be talking about it. And in general, I'm not trying to bring people down with any kind of content I make. I'm more or less making content for a myriad of reasons, but in my eyes, I'm only trying to do positive things when I am making content. I'm not ever trying to do purely negative things or anything like that. And I don't know. I feel like and that's what, I mean, that's what everyone says. They're never trying to be bad. They're always trying to be good because good is good and bad is bad. And it's the narrative that everyone spins for themselves. And you can't truly know if someone who made a video or they're obviously being bad meant it or not. And I'm going off on a tangent. My brain likes to do these conundrum kind of things where I just go crazy. But in essence, I am just looking to do more. Like, I want to collaborate with people. I have some friends that make content, stream and stuff. I want to look to do more with them, and I just need to come up with ideas. And I feel like I had so many ideas at one point, and I just keep telling myself they're bad. And in reality, they might not be bad, they might not be good, but I should just really start like trying to flesh them out, or just like I will. The other problem is I also am a like do it all myself kind of person if I can do it, because I don't want to. I'm not a control freak, but I'm also not a. I don't want to have to rely on other people to put out videos. I want to put out videos on my own time, and then if collaborations happen, they happen, and those can be kind of extra sort of things. There's I don't want to have to. It's like maybe in the future, if I can find people to collaborate with regularly, maybe then I can have people to make like essentially like content that is like where I can rely on people. But I don't know. I'm going off on tangents and getting myself in circles, so I'm just gonna end it here. Nice, short, sweet episode kind of thing. It's at about 30-ish minutes. But I'm hoping to have more to talk about next week. Maybe have a guest next week. We'll kind of see. But yeah, that was the episode 6 of the Trailer Park Podcast. I am not sure what I'm going to call this one. Probably like Rebirth or something stupid. We'll see. But yeah, make sure to follow me on all my social medias. I post on Twitter if I make a video. I post on Twitter if I'm streaming. I post on Twitter if I am inebriated. All those things. Instagram, I have only posted there semi recently, like more than anything, but I'll be posting there more often. Hopefully, if my if my self esteem allows it, hopefully it will. So yeah, have a nice day.